Hello everyone. So today we are going to be talking about the E sound. E is a monotone sound. In the previous class we talked about monotones and the examples of monotones. E is the first example of monotones. Now, hello everyone. Today we are going to be transcribing the E sound. In the previous class we talked about E sound and we said it's a vowel sound. It's a long vowel sound because it has two dots up and down. These are the typical spelling. Hello everyone, today we are going to be transcribing EA, which is one of the typical spellings for E. In the previous class, we saw the transcription for UAY. Example of EA. Hello everyone, today we are going to be transcribing EA, which is one of the typical spellings for E. In the previous class, we saw the transcription for EA. So feel, F is pronounced so. So today we are going to be transcribing EI, which is one of the typical spellings for E. In the previous class, we saw the transcription for EE. So this is deceive. To transcribe deceive, you write D. In the previous classes, we talked about monotones and the different examples of monotones. So for today, we are going to be talking about the second example of monotone, which is the E sound. This sounds like the letter E in the English alphabet, but has to be kept short. In the previous class, we talked about the E sound and the typical spellings for E sound. So today we are going to be talking about the typical spelling, one of the typical spelling, which is the A sound, and how to transcribe it. So we have in the previous class we talked about E sound and the typical spelling for E sound. So today we are going to be talking about one of the typical spellings for E sound, which is letter E. We have blessed. Now to transcribe, in the previous class we talked about E as one of the typical spellings for E sound. So today we are going to be talking about I, which is one of the typical spellings for E sound. So we have sick. S is pronounced, so we write S. In the previous class we talked about I, which is one of the typical spellings for E. Today we are going to be talking about the IE as one of the typical spellings for E sound. We have babies. The B is pronounced, so we write B. Everyone, so today we are going to be talking about Y as one of the typical spellings for E. In the previous class we talked about IE, which is also one of the typical spellings for E. Him, H is pronounced, so write H. Hello everyone, in the previous classes we talked about the E and the E sound. So today we are going to be contrasting the E and the E sound in sentences. 1. Seek the attention of a doctor.